Oh, sometimes these things happen. So let me start again with a very important question. How do you create a thriving business? If that question is on your mind, you are in the right place to get an answer. Hello there. Sigrid de Kast here. I'm bringing women of expertise together to tell their story and showcase their message because it is time to put more female brands on the map. And today I've invited Helen Mac, a proven coach, author, and facilitator who aligns people and processes to achieve the best possible outcomes. Hello, Helen.
Hello, Sigrid. It's lovely to be part of this project of yours. I love the idea of bringing women of expertise together and sharing their message.
There is so much information, so much out there that I think we as women can share, not only to support and empower others to do so, but to bring angles of difference into the world. So you have been in business for more than 30 years, Helen. What an achievement in our constantly changing world. Let us hear what your secret is. What's your secret to that longevity?
Yeah, it doesn't feel that long, Sigrid. It seems very, very quick. And when I hear that number, I think, oh, I must have started when I was 10, which of course I didn't. Um, but I think the key is to stay fresh, to be in business in something that you love to do. I really believe that business takes an intense effort, and so we need to make sure that we're doing something that we feel good about. I know that people have succeeded in businesses where they're doing it because it's a logical choice. But I think that, especially for women, it seems to be more important that we want to do something that matters to us and that we believe matters to others. So my business journey has been varied, but I think the key is I've always done things that I love to do and that I'm good at, which helps. That keeps you going. It keeps you energized.
So, did you start at a particular point focusing on wanting to be in business, Helen? How did that come about? Tell us a bit about that.
No, that was a happy accident, Sigrid. I did a Bachelor of Arts degree in psychology because I've always been fascinated with people, and then I took a job in corporate. One that failed, that is no longer on my resume, and then a couple of different corporate appointments, and then eventually ended up in a large multinational corporate, and was in the human resources space, in training and development and recruitment and all of those sorts of helping the humans in the workspace get better. I think I asked a few too many questions about how our processes were and why our processes were the way they were. And so I ended up being encouraged to move to a new area where my people skills would be beneficial, but I wouldn't keep asking questions about why the human resources processes were the way they were. So I ended up out in the sales area of that business. And then they did a major downsizing, huge downsizing, of which I was a beneficiary. So in my early 20s, suddenly had an opportunity to really look at what I wanted to do. And as part of the relocation, redeployment kind of process, I ended up at a transition counseling kind of, a career counseling type place. And it was almost like, I don't know, there was an ad years ago for, I think, Remington shavers. I liked it so much, I bought the company. It was a bit like that. I liked the process so much, I ended up getting involved with that company
Oh,
and became one of their coaches, consultants, and then from there realized that what I really wanted to do was go out on my own. So it was a series of happy accidents, I think.
well, they say there are no such things as accidents. We kind of create that. And you've really given me a segue into my next question, the curiosity. You said asking a lot of questions. Firstly, I think women do have a lot of question on their mind in general. And when we can really open ourselves up and ask those, because we have the confidence to, we can go into the direction we really feel we are drawn to and we like best. So is the asking the questions part of having arrived at your M.A.C method for dynamic business success?
Yeah, very much so. So the journey to the MAC method is also really about asking questions of myself and of all of my customers over the years. So I have had clients in big corporates, I've had clients in micro business. So I love that diversity. But it's always been about asking that my favorite question is what's possible? So whatever your scenario, the first, there's a reality check piece, but the key question for people to ask is what's possible, because that eliminates things that would be nice or I wish I could. In any scenario, what's possible. I remember years ago talking to a client of mine, a coaching client of mine, and her boss kept loading, more, 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 more. She was drowning. And I said to her, the thing for you to ask yourself is, with all of the things that he's asking me to do, what's possible given your resources, your level of responsibility, your energy levels, etc., etc. And she just went, oh my goodness, that's such a powerful question. And so she started going back to her boss and saying, you've given me all of this. What's possible? What outcome do you need? And which of these really is not possible given the resources that you've provided, et cetera, et cetera. So from large corporates to micro businesses, that question, asking myself that and others has driven this development of the content. So my passion is actually about developing optimism as the success mindset. So the M in the MAC method is mindset, and that's come from my work over decades of what's the attitude that delivers the best possible outcomes for people to especially in the businesses that I work with. So in my business, it's meant making sure that the other reason I think that what's possible question is so powerful is because it opens your brain up and brings in the brainstorming, multiple ideas concept. And then we need to say, okay, what's the best possible outcome from this scenario? And I believe with the MAC method, that mindset helps us choose the best possible outcome. And the best possible mindset is optimism. So I have a lot of work that I do around people understanding the difference between positivity and optimism, and why optimism is the most successful mindset. And part of it is because the first three letters are the key. Opt. We need to make conscious choices in what we do.
So the what is possible is virtually a kind of a practical or an extension or expansion of this imagine, isn't it? The imagine can lead us more into sort of, yes, maybe I'm imagining, but when you really have the what is possible, that brings it on a very practical footing. I hear you saying. And yeah.
And because you need to look at, I talk about goal getting, not goal setting. And goal getting is about what are my resources? Well, sorry, what's my reality? What's the situation now? What are my resources? And that might be my personal resources, my resilience, my history, my whatever. And what resources have I got access to? Which one of the things I know you love doing, Sigrid, is bringing women together, and that expands our resources pool, right? If we can tap into other people. And then the third piece is, what's my responsibility in this? Am I actually responsible for this outcome? Or do I need to share, delegate, let it go, whatever? So goal getting is part of that mindset, and then choosing the best possible outcome and the activities, which leads us to the A, and then the actions that are going to get you those outcomes.
So it's all really interconnected, is what I'm hearing, which life is, which we are in ourselves as well. So you touched on the psychology. You've got a bachelor in psychology, and not everybody in business, of course, has that, but I do know from my marketing diploma of marketing that I did, psychology is a huge part of that. So in your journey, psychology, has that consciously been something you've looked at and used and worked with, or is it just been there because you took that on and did that bachelor?
Oh, I think that's a chicken and egg argument
Is
kind
it?
of
Right,
thing, Sigrid,
right.
because I chose psychology because of my passion for people, for my interest in human development and people development. And then my psychology degree, the journey of my psychology degree led me down the organizational psychology path. And then as a result of that, I have tapped into the organizational psychology training over the years. Lots of reading, lots of exploration, lots of research into why do people do things the way they do them. And now I bring that into my coaching, my facilitation, my writing, all is about maximizing human potential.
We are. So, Helen, I'd be really curious now for you to tell us about your M.A.C method in regards to the coaching that you offer. You have a unique way, I believe, where you are bringing several business owners together in your approach to supporting them to have a successful business. Tell us more detail about that, please, so that as viewers can listen to this, and as we're coming to giving some big moments at the end. Who are you? What is this method in terms of the offers that you have?
Thanks, Sigrid. So I want to just share the other two parts of the M.A.C method, and then I'll just very quickly share how that gets worked on in the coaching that I do. So the M we've talked about a bit because that's my passion, so I always spend more time there. So M is for mindset, A is for action, activity, and C is for consistency. So all of my coaching is about making sure that the mindset is right, that people have the appropriate mindset to approach their business and their people. The A is helping them stay focused on the actions that are going to deliver on the outcomes that they want. It's so easy to get distracted in this multifaceted world that we live in. And the C is about consistency. What are the habits and rituals, the routines, the things that you need to make sure you are doing regularly? And I know that you are really good at this because there are lots of things that you do very consistently. I'm always very in much admiration of that for you. And so the M.A.C method is applied in all of my coaching. I do one-on-one coaching, but my passion at the moment is this very exciting idea called the Small Business Ideas Exchange, which for our viewers today is an online group coaching, but with a slight twist. So only 8 people. So I treat it as the Brady Bunch. We can all see each other even on a small screen, and everyone gets a chance to firstly celebrate something good that's happened in the past month. It's a monthly session. As business owners, and particularly as women, we are not great at celebrating our successes. We go, this didn't happen and I missed out on this, and we are much tougher on ourselves than we need to be. So we celebrate, and then we have an opportunity for everyone to get into what I call the hot seat. So everyone has a chance to share an issue that they are having in their business. The other people in the business, we tap into the group mind. So the other expertise in the room shares. I facilitate that and then add my layer of expertise. And then the third step is the action plan, because so many business owners are so busy that they're just working in the business. This gets them to thinking about on the business, and they know that a month later, someone's going to ask them, did they do that thing that they talked about last month? Mm-hmm. So it's a very lovely, rich format, an hour and a half a month, a great opportunity for business owners to make a huge difference to their businesses.
That's a wonderful offer that you have there, because, the multitude of minds coming together creates new minds and opportunities and ways. Helen, that is a wonderful way of getting the business owners to bring that success in. So let me recap on a couple of things that are really stand out from what you've shared. First of all, that question. It is that question that Helen asked, what's possible? It really opens the mindset for everyone to look at that in a practical way. And it is not goal setting, it is goal getting. I love that, Helen. That is such a great way of, again, bringing practicality to getting there. And the optimism, of course, is something practical as well, because with optimism you can see those possibility, what is possibility. And I hear you. M.A.C method stands for mindset, action, and consistency, which is what we all need, no matter in what business we are. I absolutely love it. Now, I have to throw this in, because when you mentioned the Brady Bunch having 8 maximum on, it does remind me watching that show and having on the screen like we have today with Zoom. Isn't that
That's right.
interesting?
Yeah.
Where that may have possibly come from. So absolutely wonderful. I'll ask you, what are the parting words for this session with you that you'd like to leave us with? What comes
Given
to
that,
mind?
so the theme is about creating a business that thrives. And I think there's probably three things that I'd love people to think about. One is, have you got a business that makes you thrive, that makes you feel good, that you can step into and that you feel like is going to make a difference in your world as well as others? The second is just do a checkup from the neck up regularly. How is your attitude? Have you gone down a little bit of a dark path, and do you need to start re-looking at? So the first piece of the optimism principles is look for the sun. What are the bright points in your life? And then the third piece really is that consistency piece. What is it that you can do regularly, even if it's the tiniest thing, to remind yourself of why you got into this business in the first place and what you want it to do?
Absolutely excellent. Now, you've just said another really interesting thing about look to the sun. So there is so much in here, Helen, that I would love to explore further down the track with you.
Yay.
For today, let us close this particular segment on how to create a thriving business, where you, Helen Mac, have shared with us details and insights. Helen Mac, who's a proven coach, author, and facilitator, aligning people and processes to achieve the best possible outcome, laying out for us what her programs are about. Thank you for sharing those details with it. And with that, I am going to close this Women of Expertise interview for today. Thank you. My name is Sigrid Cast, and I am bringing women of expertise together to tell their story and showcase their message, because it is time to bring more women brands onto the map. Thank you, Helen.
Thank you, Sigrid.